Hi everyone, welcome to another class. Today we are talking about sampling designs. It's going to be fun and easy. Plus, I have prepared a colorful PowerPoint with lots of pictures to keep things interesting. So grab a seat and let's dive in. So let's see what is sampling first. Okay, so I have explained the whole topic with an example of picking candy. We can pick some candies in different ways. Okay, we can pick some candies from a whole bag in different ways. Okay, so let's see what is sampling. This is just an example. Sampling is the process of selecting a subset of individuals or items from a larger group of population to represent the whole population. Okay, so by selecting a particular group and we draw conclusion or we generalize about the whole population. So that is it is very simple that sampling is like picking a few pieces of candy to taste the whole bag. Okay, so that is sampling. And sampling design is the overall plan or it is a strategy used to select a sample from the larger population for the research or the analysis. So coming to the next one, which is sampling, the ways researchers do sampling. See, there are different types of sampling. So we can divide it into two, which is probability sampling and non-probability sampling. See, let's see what is probability sampling. As the name suggests, probability sampling is a sampling where every member of the population has a non chance of being selected for the sample. Okay, so each and every member of the population or the each and every unit has the equal opportunity to be chosen. Okay, so that is probability sampling. For example, imagine you have a bag of colorful candies. Okay, it has chocolates, gummies, caramels, whatever it is. You have a mixture of the different candies. So you want to know the proportion of each candy. How much chocolates are there, gummies are there, and caramels are there. Okay, so in this case, this is a whole bag, which means this is a whole population. So from the whole population, you wanted to know the proportion of each variety of the candy. Okay, so what you do, you can't take the whole population to study this topic. With this probability sampling technique, you just pick out a handful of the candies, and make a study of it. Okay, that is what you're going to do. In research, we can't take the whole population to study. So what we do is we take a sample. Okay, we take a sample of population, we take a sample from the population. So here the key point is that each and every candidate has a non chance of being selected. Okay, each and every unit of the population has a non chance of being selected. The main important thing is that in probability sampling method, we are not keeping any criteria to select the candidates. Okay, or to select the samples. So this is completely based on randomization. Okay, so we have different types of randomization or random different methods of randomization. So let's see what are the different types. Before that, we'll see what is a non-probability sampling. Okay, so we have two types of sampling, which is probability sampling and non-probability. So the probability we have already discussed, which is the selection of members from which each member of the population has non-chance of being selected. But in case of non-probability sampling, it is non-probable, which means where not every member of the population has a non-chance of being selected for the sample. Okay, so the selection process is not based on randomization. Okay. Mm, So instead, individual are selected based on some criterias. Okay, so maybe the criterias may be convenience, judgment, or availability. Okay, so for example, for the non-probability sampling, I have provided an example here, which is imagine a birthday party bowl, a birthday party bowl filled with leftover candy. Okay, so you grab a handful, mostly chocolate. This doesn't reflect the mix in the original bag or population because only certain candies were chosen. So, from this bowl of candies, you choose whatever you like, maybe the chocolate or the gummies. Okay, so this is not based on randomization. Okay, here you are purposefully collecting, you are purposefully taking the candies that is most what you like. Okay. Okay, so coming to the next one, we'll discuss what are the different types of probability sampling. See, we have three types here: simple random sampling, stratified sampling, and cluster sampling. These are some methods of collecting samples which of probability sampling. These are the methods of probability sampling methods. Okay, so first one we'll move to the simple random sampling method. What is simple random sampling? It is a method of selecting samples from a population where every individual or item has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, so in this example, imagine shaking the bag and grabbing a handful of candies. Okay, so every candy has an equal chance of being in your hand, or every candy or every unit of the population has an equal chance of being selected or chosen. Okay, so that is simple random sampling. So coming to the next one, which is stratified sampling. See, I have given a picture here. So from this you can understand that stratified sampling is probability sampling technique where the population is divided into subgroups, okay, or stratas. We can call the groups different stratas, okay, or different subgroups. And this is divided, these groups are divided based on some characteristics, okay, that are relevant to the research. Okay, so then the samples are randomly selected from each groups. Okay, so here you can see different candies in different colors, or different shapes. Okay, so in that on the basis of the characteristic which may be color or shape in this case. Okay, so based on that we have classified the candies into different subgroups. Now what we are doing is we are collecting, or we are randomly select from each subgroup. Okay, so from red, from this one, we collect or we randomly select some of the candies, and from this one, white and orange, we take some randomly take some candies, and from, okay, so that is how it the stratified sampling works. So here this is like separating the candy by color and then picking some from each bag. It ensures all colors or groups in the bag are represented in your sample. Okay, so that is stratified sampling. I think you understood the concept. Okay, now the next one, which is cluster sampling. See, what is cluster sampling? See, by the example given here, you can understand that cluster sampling is, which is a technique where the population is divided into different clusters or groups. Okay, we have divided into different candies into different bags. Okay, here, so after dividing the whole population into clusters or groups, then a random selection of clusters is chosen. Okay, so the whole bag is taken. In this example, we have 5 bags and we take some bags. Okay, we take 2 bags for as the sample. The whole bag, the whole 2 bags. We are not collecting from the bag, but we are taking the whole 2 bags. Okay, so once the clusters are selected, all individuals within the chosen clusters are included in the sample. But this method is often more practical and cost effective than other sampling method. Okay, so that is cluster sampling. So the next one is non-probability sampling. Okay, so what is non-probability sampling? Non-probability sampling is not every member of the population has a non-chance of being selected for the sample. Okay, so here you choose the candidate based on ease or specific criteria. Okay, but in probability sampling there is no criteria. We just randomly select the sample based on randomization. Yes, it is based on the randomization process, but here there is no randomness. Okay, here the candies or the samples from the population are chosen based on ease or any specific criteria or characteristics. Okay, so while it might be faster, the results might be biased because certain candies are more likely to be picked. Okay, so the different types of non-probability sampling, the first one is convenience sampling. Okay, so from the name only you can understand what is convenience sampling. Okay, and also the picture I have provided here, so the concept is very easy to understand from the picture only. So what is convenience sampling? See, convenience sampling is also a non-probability sampling technique where the samples are selected based on their easy accessibility, okay, or the availability to the researcher. So the individuals who are convenient or readily accessible to the researcher are included in this sample. So here often without any randomization. Okay, so there would be a strict selection criteria for the samples. Okay, so this is like grabbing candies that's right in front of you. Okay, so this in this example you can say like that. So it's easy but might not represent the entire bag's variety. Okay, to collect this sample is easy but it might not represent the entire bag's variety. So coming to the next one, which is purposive sampling. Imagine you only want chocolate. Okay, from the bowl you have a bowl of chocolate, you have a bowl of candies and you only want chocolate. So you pick through the bag or the bowl until you find chocolate candies. Okay, so you purposefully picking the chocolate candies only. Okay, so here this is good for specific situations. See, out of this, using this method you can't generalize. Okay, generalize the whole population. Okay, purposive sampling is also known as judgmental or selective sampling. Okay, so it is a technique where the researcher deliberately selects individuals or cases. Okay, in research, researcher deliberately select individuals or cases that possess specific characteristics or meet certain criteria relevant to the research objectives. Okay, so here, unlike random sampling methods, purposive sampling relies on the researcher's judgment and expertise to handpick participants who are deemed most suitable for the study. So in case of qualitative research, in case studies and exploratory studies, researchers use this method of sample. So coming to the next one, which is snowball sampling method. Last but not the least, snowball sampling method is a non-probability sampling technique. It is also used primarily in qualitative research to identify and recruit participants through referrals from existing participants. Okay, here, so in the example, imagine asking a friend for their favorite candy. Okay, then that friend then asking their friends and so on. Okay, this is a process. From the picture, the person is asking for his favorite candy and then he asked to his friend and so on. That is happening. So this is useful for hard to reach populations but might end up with only a certain type of candy, like candies your friends friend groups like. So this method is particularly useful when studying populations that are difficult to reach or have low visibility, such as marginalized or hidden communities. Okay, so snowball sampling can introduce bias, of course, because the initial participants may share similar characteristics or networks. leading to a lack of diversity in the sample. So, researchers should interpret the findings of snowball sampling with caution and consider its limitations when drawing conclusions. So, that is all about today's class. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. If you have any doubt, any queries, you can ask in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.